What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is the Jose Show. Happy Thursday. It's almost the weekend, guys. But anywho, let's get to the hot topics because these topics are really good. Now, let's talk about Nicolas Cage. So, Nicolas Cage is far from Father of the Year in the eyes of his ex, as Christina Fulton is now suing him for fueling their son's violent tendencies, which she believes led to him attacking her. So, Christina's filed a suit against Nick and their son Weston Cage over Weston's brutal alleged beating of his mother in LA last April. So as you might expect, she's suing Weston for assault, battery, negligence, and infliction of emotional distress, but the legal twist here is she also thinks Nick's negligence played a big role in the abusive incident. So in the docs obtained by TMZ, she says Nick was well aware of Weston's history of mental and psychological disorders, but instead of addressing it, the actor enabled it. Christina claims Nick gave Weston financial support, bailed him out of jail multiple times, but never pushed him into getting any professional help. So, further, she claims Nick often went out drinking with Weston while knowing full well he had substance abuse problems. So, as TMZ reported, Weston was arrested and charged for attacking his mother in a parking lot, elevator, and lobby of his apartment building. The aftermath pics of Christina were horrifying, and according to the suit, she suffered a concussion, multiple contusions, neck and throat injuries, and a disfiguring eye injury. So, Christina says the attack has derailed her acting career and business ventures. She's seeking damages from Nick and her son. Alright, so Weston has pled not guilty to assault with a deadly weapon but has yet to stand trial. Okay, so this is really insane. I think that Nicolas Cage should be a better father here, and he should be like, listen, son, you need to stop being so violent and you need to start behaving well. But unfortunately, Nicolas Cage seems like the type of father that is actually condoning all of this, because at the end of the day, this guy is over here basically being so nice to Weston by taking him out to places and by having him have a drink and this and that, and that's not good, especially doing that to somebody that is already dealing with substance abuse and that is dealing with psychological disorders, especially because this guy Weston ended up beating up his own mom, Christina Fulton, which happens to be, of course, the ex of Nicolas Cage. I think, in my opinion here, if this Weston guy ends up getting a lot of psychological help, trust me, Weston is going to be a different person. Because if there's one thing that these psychological institutions do, is that they actually make sure that the person is changing, and they are changing for the good. But in this situation, I think that Christina Fulton really is like, you know what, I am so sick and tired. If this guy doesn't want to get any psychological help, then that is all on him. But I want my money for damages because this is ridiculous and this is so darn harming for me that I got beat up by my own son, who happens to be Weston, especially because the poor woman, let's remember, she has a black eye, she has several bruises on her face. The woman looks like she just got out of a boxing match with Pacquiao or something. Like, I'm not even kidding. And also, I am surprised that this woman is still alive because of that. You know, him going to jail, by the way, I don't even think is going to be enough to actually change the guy. Because, I mean, yes, you know, going to prison, it really does change up a person in a way. But in this situation, I don't think that this person's going to change at all, because this person is still going to be more aggressive, I'm pretty sure, because there's a bunch of aggressive, mean people in prison after all. And in a psychological institution, there's actually going to be people that will change Weston into becoming a better son and into not laying his hand on his own mother. Now, whatever the situation was in between Weston and in between Christina Fulton, I mean, yet again, there is no justification for him to be laying a hand on his own mother. Okay, but yet again, the guy has mental problems. Okay, so anywho, I think that in this situation, this is very scary, and I think that if the problem persists, even though he ends up going to a psychological institution, then I'm sorry, but I think that this woman, Christina Fulton, is gonna have to file a restraining order against her own son, and I think it's for the good, so that way she will no longer be hurt. Okay. Okay, I mean, as hurtful as it sounds that this woman is gonna file a restraining order against her own son, I think it's for the best for her and also the best for him as well, so he can quit misbehaving. But anywho, this is very hurtful, and I wish nothing but luck, and I really hope that Christina Fulton gets to win the lawsuit, so that way this can actually be a life lesson for this guy, Weston, okay? And I also hope that this woman, Christina Fulton, could be able to make a really good use of all of the money if she ends up winning the lawsuit. And by making a good use, I hope she makes a good use in terms of, going to a plastic surgeon, or I don't know, going to the doctors or something in order to better up her face, because her face unfortunately is pretty much deformed at this point. So anywho, on to the next topic. Now let's talk about Tyler the Creator. So Tyler the Creator is showing love to his hometown by providing meals to people on Skid Row, and he's dishing out distinctive plates. So apparently, a rep for the Los Angeles Mission tells TMZ Tyler is donating enough food to feed around 100 people Thursday, and the items include shrimp tempura and cream of wheat. So TMZ was told a member of Tyler's camp delivered all the necessary ingredients Wednesday to make the special meals, and LA Mission's executive chef Eric Grant is set to serve it all up. So anyways, this is really amazing that Tyler the Creator is actually being thoughtful towards the homeless, because there are a lot of homeless people over in Los Angeles that need so much at this point, especially because of all of the wildfires that were going on, which basically got to lose so many houses of so many innocent people. And I think that by the fact that Tyler the Creator is over here being thoughtful, it really comes to show that Tyler the Creator actually cares so much about people, and he actually is looking out for so many people, and that he's not all about himself. And I think that right there is goals, because we need more people like that, especially because unfortunately there aren't a lot of people like Tyler the Creator that are actually thinking about the homeless. They are just thinking about themselves, unfortunately. And Tyler the Creator, let's be honest here, he is one of the few underrated rappers out there. He is not all that recognized, he's not all that known like Drake, like Kendrick Lamar, you name it. And I feel like Tyler the Creator deserves more recognition, not just for being himself, but also for being a really good rapper too. I think, in my opinion, that Tyler the Creator, he really is gonna have a lot of good things coming in his own way, because of the fact that he got to be thinking so much about the homeless by feeding them food, especially over at the shelter, because what you do to others will soon come back to you, and that's exactly what's gonna happen to Tyler the Creator. And I think that these homeless people, I'm sure they were like very surprised at seeing that this rapper was over here thinking about them and feeding them, because the last thing that these homeless people would expect is to be fed by a huge famous rapper, and they would actually not even expect for a rapper to be even thinking about them in the first place. So this is just very, very insane, and I think that would even be more thoughtful, in my opinion, is that if Tyler the Creator goes off and maybe, lends him a lot of money as well, because I know that Tyler the Creator has a bunch of money, but I don't think that he would ever do such a thing, in my opinion, because I know that it's his money after all. But I do think that by the fact that he went off and lended food, I think that is just more than enough to show how much of a great person he is. And yeah, so anywho, this is really cool, and I think that maybe these homeless people should even get some passes to his shows if they're huge fans of Tyler the Creator. And yeah, so anywho, this is cool. Now on to the next topic. Now let's talk about Kanye West and Kim Kardashian. So Kim Kardashian and Kanye West partook in a rare reunion to support North West as she made her Lion King singing debut at the Hollywood Bowl back in May of 2024, and it was all documented on Hulu cameras for Wednesday's episode of The Kardashians. So the former couple was filmed backstage at the famed venue, helping their eldest get ready for her big performance and participating in a prayer circle together with one parent on either side of their pride and joy. So this is really interesting and this is very amazing. Okay, so I think that this is very interesting because I think that Kim Kardashian and Kanye West can't even see each other at this point. They might as well be in different locations. I think that it was very brave and it was very cool that they would be next to each other despite their own differences, especially because they were there for their own daughter. But this just comes to show that they were actually putting their own daughter first before their drama. And that's goals right there as parents. Thank you, Jesus, that they're finally behaving like normal people. I think that that's exactly what they should do more often because at the end of the day, it's not their children's fault that Kim Kardashian and Kanye West were having a bunch of issues in the first place, which is what led them to divorce. And honestly, I think that they can basically, get along with each other, hopefully, at least as friends, since they are the ones that got to procreate their children in the first place. I mean, come on now, but who knows if they were getting along with each other? I'm sure that they were just sitting right by each other and they were like, whatever, we're just here for our own child and that's it. We don't want to have anything to do with each other and we definitely do not want to get along with each other and goodbye. I sense that's exactly what happened here because let's be honest, what happened in between Kim and Kanye was not really Gucci and really good and really okay. I mean, what happened between the both of them was very insane and very ridiculous because let's remember that Kanye West was having a mental breakdown, which was what really affected Kim Kardashian, and Kim Kardashian was already done with all of that crap to the point that she decided to divorce the guy. And then Kanye went off and was throwing shit at Pete Davidson because Pete Davidson was dating Kim Kardashian, and then Kanye West was going off dating Julia Fox, and then he was dating some other chick, and now he's dating this one girl who happens to be, I believe, a model and is now divorcing this woman, by the way, which, by the way, this is the same woman that got to show up at the Grammys naked a few weeks ago. So, I mean, he's been going super insane, which is the reason to why I'm pretty surprised that the both of them are right by each other at this show, and that they are basically, not, fighting or anything like that. So this is really cool. This is really interesting to hear at the end of the day. So yeah, that's all I have to say about this. Now on to the next topic. Now, from Kanye West and Kim Kardashian to Lizzo. So Lizzo's clearly loving her slimmed down body and she's giving her fans another look at her fantastic form with a selfie focused on her booty. So the singer-songwriter shared the photo on Instagram Wednesday, kicking off a post full of memes with one thing that's certainly not a joke, her black underwear showing off her backside. So Liz was tossing a sultry look at the camera and reminding everyone she's been working hard for a couple years to get healthier and reach her ideal weight. So, as you can imagine, the internet's pretty complimentary and the trolls who used to come after the star have completely clammed up. So, this is really insane. Lizzo, in my opinion, is losing weight because she was so sick and tired of hearing so many people fat shame her all over social media. And I think, in my opinion, it was kind of a good thing that she was getting fat shamed because she was actually getting motivated to lose her own weight and she was motivated to, better up her body. But at the same time, I think it was very horrible and very cruel that all of these people would go off and fat shame the poor woman, because I think that fat shaming is not good at the end of the day. So I feel like in this case, it was a wrong that made a right here. But I think that now that Lizzo is losing weight, man, she looks so different. She doesn't even look like Lizzo anymore. And by the way, I love the way that she's embracing her body all over social media by showing off that skinny body that she now has. I mean, she looks really good and she be posing it like there's no tomorrow. And I think that this is definitely a drastic change, not just for herself, but also for her own career, because we have always known Lizzo as, for her own weight and of course for her singing, of course. And now we're going to be seeing Lizzo as this skinny woman that is, also a singer, of course, but that has definitely changed weight-wise. And it's very interesting and it's very amazing how she has lost so much weight in just a short amount of time, because I remember that just a few months ago, Lizzo was still in her same weight. But this just comes to show that Lizzo was really dedicating and has been very dedicating towards her own weight by going to the gym, by eating healthier, or maybe on a diet, who knows. And that's really goals right there. And that's actually a really good example and a really good way to motivating a bunch of women out there to lose weight and to actually look as good as Lizzo. So this is actually really good. And I think that as long as Lizzo gets to continue it up, I'm pretty sure that Lizzo is gonna look even better and better as the years go by. So this right here is amazing. Now, I think that Lizzo is really, really cool. She's a down-to-earth singer. She's a down-to-earth person that has been in the business for like the past 7-8 years now, and she is just so realistic, by the way, because I have always heard how much she has been real about her weight, how she's always been real about her career, about herself, etc., etc. And I feel like we need more people like Lizzo. So hey, this is cool, you know. But I do remember though that when Lizzo was overweight, she was embracing it either way, because she was like, you know what, at the end of the day, God gave me this body and I might as well show off this body by running around and, you know, being crazy and here and there. And I even remember that one time when she was at a basketball game, she was like having, I don't know, torn pants, I think it was, and she was showing off her behind or something like that, and she was running around and she was embracing her body, and she didn't give a damn about what people were saying to her. And I was like, damn, you go, girl. This is actually really funny. This is actually really cool. And honestly, I was like, at the same time, like, well, you know, this is gonna go viral. This is actually gonna be a laughing stock. But I mean, hey, she didn't give a damn after all. And I think that's actually really cool, because sometimes in life, you shouldn't really care what people have to say about you, and you shouldn't really care what is being told towards you either. So that's another thing. So this is really cool, Lizzo. I applaud you for losing weight. You keep on doing it, girl. Okay. And by the way, you are also a really good example to a lot of female black girls out there, or girls of color out there, to be doing their thing as well. So hey, Lizzo, we love you. Okay, now on to the next topic. Now let's talk about Tracy Morgan. So Tracy Morgan flattered Jeanie Buss while possibly exposing his lack of NBA knowledge at the same time, with Jay Moore saying the comedy legend asked his wife if she was a Laker girl. The former Saturday Night Live cast member revealed the hilarious interaction in a preview of an upcoming More Stories episode, saying it went down at the sketch show's 50th anniversary event last week. So Moore explained one of his goals for the weekend was to get his wife and longtime friend to get a pic together, and he made it happen, but not before the memorable encounter. So I go, Tracy, this is my wife, Jeanie, Moore said, and she goes, you gotta come out to LA and come to a Lakers game. So he goes, are you a dancer? Because I don't F with the Lakers. So of course Morgan was most likely joking, but he's a staple at Knicks game. If it really was a silly comment, the guys on the show loved it because they laughed their aces off. So Buss took over the Lakes franchise in 2013 after her father and previous owner Jerry passed away. She started dating Moore in 2017 and they got hitched a few years later. So this is really cool that the both of them were joking around and that there was just a lot of cutesy here and there between Tracy Morgan and Moore. And at the end of the day, there is no bad blood regardless of their differences. And that's if it's really true that, you know, Moore isn't really Team Lakers. But here's the thing though, I think that the fact that they are still together despite them being together for 8 years, to me is really cool, because I think that 8 years is really coming to show that they are actually having a really steady relationship and they're actually having a really steady marriage. Because sometimes people like this don't even last a freaking day together, and this is just so freaking sad. And it's just so darn interesting just how the both of them were just all cheery and all happy when they first met each other, and they weren't really about the bad blood about anything, because I think that is exactly how a relationship should start. It should start with a bunch of of love and positivity, and so and so. Just like what's going on here with Tracy Morgan and with Moore, for example. Now, these two, by the way, they look really happy together. They look really silly together, and they're like, whatever, I don't really care about what other people have to say about us, regardless if people like us or not. And that's actually goals right there. Now, I believe that the fact that the one of them was actually on Saturday Night Live is already making it really cool, and it's actually one of the reasons to why the both of them are actually having a really good relationship, because I mean, when you're coming from SNL, you are actually being funny, you actually have that humor to have a steady good relationship, and you just have that good gas in you, you don't have that miserability in you, you don't have that negativity in you. So that's exactly what this whole entire marriage could be about here, as to why the marriage is still running really good, so there's also that. But anywho, they are definitely meant for each other. That is definitely for sure. And hey, I couldn't be any happier. Okay. So anywho, love wins at the end of the day. And yeah, that is all I have to say about this. But anywho, that is it for today's show, ladies and gentlemen. I really hope you guys enjoyed today's lovely episode of The Jose Show. Till next time, and peace.